Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Minecraft. It is episode 97. Oh man, I'm trying, man. I am trying to get there. Slowly but surely. I want to record 3 episodes this month. I apologize for just leaving the rest of August without an episode. But I don't know. I guess just yeah, like sometimes that just happens, man. I don't know. I've been on a really consistent span of putting out 2 episodes a month, but yeah, anyways, if you have not heard of me before, my YouTube channel name is Antidote Alarm. I came up with that by combining 2 of my favorite albums of all time, Sound Alarm by Block Party. I might talk about that in a little bit as part of this episode, and the album Antidotes by Foles. Yeah, both of them are really good British, like, freaking indie rock bands that I enjoy, man. Block Party and Foles. Yeah, do I need to explain really more of it? That's just how I'm just explaining the origins of a name, okay? Bear with me here. You know, another online name, I guess I just want to get this out of the way. If anyone knows the name Bridge Money, that was a name I used to freaking go by online specifically, and I don't know. It was just dumb, you know. I think I might have explained it like in the very early episodes, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it early on back in 2020, I think I said something about just liking the fact that I have an online freaking name. But yeah, I don't know. With that name in particular, I kind of want to disavow it, you know. I don't know. That, yeah, I guess I'm just putting it out there that if that name is me, I guess. But before any freaking controversy shows up, you know, and before anything associated with that shows up. But also, another name I also want to go by is, what's it? God damn, this creeper, dude, it's dark. Raymond on Mango Street. That's another freaking name I want to go by, because that's a reference to the house on Mango Street, which is my favorite book of all time, and that became my favorite book of all time in 2019. For a very brief explanation on that. So yeah, that's another name I might go by. Yeah, mostly, you know, mostly my first name, mostly that. That is actually my first name, okay? I'm not lying about that. I am not lying about that. But also another name, possibly, I think, oh god, another name that online that is me. If anyone wants to figure it out, yeah, it's mainly like my last.fm. Yeah, my last.fm, which is a service used to scrabble songs, right? Like where you can record like yeah, your songs you scrabble. I have a Twitter account. Yeah, like my Twitter is Raymond on Mango. Another friggin' alias, another handle, and yeah. Every Friday mostly, like, yeah, I just post a bunch of charts because I saw people on music Twitter doing that, and I'm like, I want to do that too, but I didn't, for the longest time I didn't know where you could find it. I guess a lot of people were just using Last.fm Pro, and I don't have Last.fm Pro to do those charts, so I just used another website. I think it's called Spotlister. Yeah, so that's another online name I go by, Shadow Angel. But it's not I go by it, it's just the name I picked for it. Yeah. It's just the name I picked for it. It's also this, yeah, it's also this, yeah, username on Xbox. And why am I freaking, oh my god. Dude, I'm trying to freaking do an intro here, please. It's also my username on Xbox. I don't know if I want to change it, man. I don't have any other good ideas. I could change it to Antidote Alarm, but I don't know. Yeah. It's also, if I want to be really freaking deep cutty with this, if I want to be really, you know, goddamn, if I want to go really in depth with this, it's also, something that was in a book I wrote. Yeah, basically. It's just basically like, yeah, I think if I want to just minorly spoil the very first book I wrote. In the very first book I wrote, I have a thing where like someone has like an online gamer tag, and like that's the online gamer tag I decided to come up with. Like I just decided to come up with just something that's just like extremely like generic, like, oh, this is something a cool gamer would freaking have as a gamer tag. I mean, it's basically intentionally supposed to be like that. I don't know. Like, it's also a thing that, like, Shadow Angel is just such a, like, generic kind of name. Like, who else would freaking have that name? I don't know. To my, I haven't seen anyone with that freaking name in, like, all my times playing online multiplayer games. So, yeah, that's another name I might go by. I'm trying to think, are there any other names that I would like to disclose that I go by? So, yeah, I guess another informal colloquial name online I somewhat go by, but not. I remember in a previous episode I say like I also go by Mango, but like that's just not like a true thing. Like I've never been called that before. I've never been called that before in my life, but I don't know. I think I just made this a thing for my YouTube channel, I guess. I guess if anyone checks the titles of YouTube, the videos I upload, you know, I put Mango in there sometimes, but I guess that's just because of, I don't know. It was just a thing I just did as a joke, I guess. It's nothing too serious. I don't want that to become one of my names that sticks. I don't want that really. But you know, I guess if anyone comes across me online, they could freaking use that. I don't know. But yeah, that's just not the name I go by. So yeah, that's basically all of the names I go by online. And yeah, this is just a extremely long-winded freaking intro that's a reference to a bit of drama that I missed that happened like 5 months ago. And that was basically the thing. Oh man, I don't know, man. Yeah, like the thing is that with that situation, those are all names of like otters. Those are all pen names, right? And like that's like the underlying theme of that like situation, you know, that I recently learned about. Like I referenced it like in a previous episode, but that was when I knew nothing about it. But like in the time between the last episode and now, I watched Read with Cindy video where she talked about it, where she like just went over the whole thing, and I like read like a whole Twitter thread because I couldn't stay away for too long because it got me too curious. And like, damn, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I mean, this really just like, how do you keep track of having that many names? Like, honestly, like that's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the only, I mean, I don't have much commentary on, like, the brown facing of it all and, like, the bullying, harassment of it all. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to deny that stuff happened, right? It's like, why would I not believe any of the freaking stuff that has been brought up and corroborated? Like, why would I not believe that? That's the thing. But like it is also like another interesting thing that like, you know, the latest frickin', yeah, like that the author has responded, you know, to it by just being like, I'm just moving on with my life. Whoever believes the allegations, I guess you can freaking stop following me. It's like just like not really addressing it at all, not putting out any sort of apology or trying to freaking use any excuse. It's just like I'm just over it. I'm just over it, man. I am moving on with my life. And like I feel like that's somewhat refreshing, man. It's somewhat refreshing to see that, you know, as opposed to the Crown of Starlight situation, as opposed to other situations, you know, where it's just like, yeah, they're just extremely upfront, you know. Yeah, they're extremely upfront about it. It's just like, I'm moving on, man. I am moving on. I don't have anything to say. It's like, could you please address the bullying allegations and the harassment and the harassment and stuff you did to these other authors, right? It's like, yeah, no, I mean, I'm moving on. I'm fine, man. And then, like, yeah, I saw, like, a tweet that was posted where like in July they launched a newsletter, and one of the things is like charging for freaking query advice. It's like, I took a pen name from nothing to something within 2 years. It's like, who's gonna sign up for that? Hopefully not many people. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. The thing is, like, they got way better. They got off way better than frickin' Kate Crane, right? Like they got off way better. That author did. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I think they're still doing fine, right? But you know, like there was like a response to it. There was like them as an author have been like taken off of like, you know, book boxes or something to that effect. You know, I haven't like I don't know the full exact details, you know, I just glossed over it, but you know, it's also been like a week since I freaking read it, so you know, I don't know, is that basically it? I don't know. I guess I just wanted to prime the episode with some book publishing drama, since I haven't done that in a while. You know, I do somewhat miss it, man. Yeah, I do somewhat miss it. Going over it, but there's obviously going to be more things, you know, in terms of like other types of drama, including the involving books. Yeah, there's like that whole Internet Archive thing where you know, it was like a service where you could like borrow books online for free, right? It basically was just a digital version of a library that was all online, but like, you know, like a publisher freaking sued them, you know, that might have been started because there was like a singular author who wrote books in a certain age category who got upset that their books were on the internet, right, without their permission or something. Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, yeah, it's like yeah, I talked about my like view on piracy before, right? It's like, yeah, do I believe that freaking you should be able to like read books for free? It's like I don't know, like, is it controversial for me to have the opinion of like, yes, you should, right? It's like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, should there be in general more access to freaking books? It's like, yes, like there obviously should. It's just the problem people get when it's like, oh, you're putting like a best-selling book, you know, on a website, you know, that's the thing, like that's the issue people have. But I don't know, like I totally could understand someone having the opinion of like, you shouldn't be able to like read like a best-selling author's like work, right? Like by just looking up a website and like downloading it. I totally understand that point, you know. But on the other, yeah, it's like the most, yeah, I've said before that my strongest contention and my strongest like reason why I would support freaking book piracy, you know, is just because of textbooks, right? Like, I don't know. Like, for textbooks, for, like, information like that, I feel like that should just be free, man. I don't know. Like, I just don't see any reason to pay, like, money. Like, especially the amounts of money you're expected to pay for that. I don't know. Like, that goes just beyond me just being a student still. It's like, I don't know. I just think it's not, I don't know. It's just not reasonable to expect people to pay that much money for freaking textbooks in general. You know? But I don't know, like with fiction, I don't know, like that's the thing, like I recognize that it's a more blurrier line, but I don't know, like I would lean more towards, yes, like books like that, you know, like classic books like 1984, apparently in friggin', you know, like classic literature that came out in like the 1800s, should you be able to download that for free? It's like, yeah, like why not, you know? I guess like an issue comes up where it's like more recent books, like should you be able to should you be able to download freaking The Love Hypothesis, you know, like for free, and like just, you know, borrow it from like a library, but it's just on a website instead of an actual library, you know? That's the whole thing. And like that was why like the lawsuit started, was because like, you know, in the pandemic people were using that site a lot. Like I've never used it. Like I use another site that got talked about in another episode, but I never used it. I personally have never used the Internet Archive, but I don't know. I generally would like side with the people who are upset that freaking it's not that it lost its freaking lawsuit, you know. I would generally side with those people, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's like, where was it going? Like, should you be able to download The Love Hypothesis? Should you be able to download the book that became a movie? Do I have anything on that? Oh man, should you be able to watch that for free? It's like, yes, probably. Probably. Oh man, you probably should be able to watch that for free. I mean, I don't know. Oh man. Oh yeah, like, yeah, I was talking about the pandemic, yeah. It's like, yeah, like someone on Twitter made the point, right, where it's like, during the pandemic, during 2020, when like libraries were shut down, right? Like, wasn't that like a great alternative? Like, wasn't that a great alternative to have something like the Internet Archive where you can borrow books online, right? And you couldn't physically go to a library? Like, where else were you supposed to read books? Like, honestly, like, if you relied on public libraries in person to get your reading, to read books, like, where else would you go? Like, where, like, what, you know? I don't know. I guess there's like there's Overdrive, right? But it's like, it's just another version of that, right? Like, honestly, what's the difference? It's like, with one, you're using a library card, which is free anyway, and then with another, it's just on a website. It's just on a website. Like, I don't know. Like, I believe, I don't know. It's, I guess I'm just making the argument that, yeah, I would agree that friggin' the Internet Archive as a site, as a website, deserves to exist, man. I don't know. I guess I've just been thinking about friggin' these sites in general, yeah. I don't want to name names, but yeah, there was a site that got taken down recently that was somewhat instrumental in frickin' me getting another creative thing done that it got put up on my channel. So, yeah. Should I talk about that, you know? Or should I talk about Caitlin Clark and friggin' her toxic fans? I don't know, man. Is she gonna win MVP? No, Asia Wilson is gonna win MVP. Is she gonna make all WNBA first team? Maybe. She's probably gonna make all WNBA second team, you know. Is she gonna win Rookie of the Year? Yes, she is. She's gonna win Rookie of the Year. Is part of her fan base toxic? Yes. Is Dejanay Carrington correct and like fair to point out that friggin' her fan base is toxic? Yes, you know, and you know, that's a topic I said previously. And to revisit another thing I said previously, like, does Dejanay Carrington have a right to say that like Caitlin Clark is doing a disservice? You know, she basically is saying, by calling out the Fever fan base. She literally had a tweet where she said the Indiana Fever have the worst fans in the W. And like, she's saying that because of Caitlin Clark, right? It's like, if Caitlin Clark wasn't on the team, like, Dejanay wouldn't be saying that. Like, obviously, Dejanay would not be saying that. So, like, yeah, like, you know, would it be nice if Caitlin were to frickin', you know, call out her toxic fan base? It's like, yes, but it's like, honestly, like, what would that practically look like? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she said before, like, in a press conference, yeah, that she doesn't want her name being used to push agendas. She got asked the question along those lines, and that was her answer. I don't know. It's just a lot. I mean, it's, you know, I think it is generally a good thing that Caitlin isn't really saying much, and she's focusing on basketball, you know? It's like, she isn't igniting this frickin' race war further, you know? It's like, can't you just, like, acknowledge her for that? Can't you just praise her for that? She isn't doing anything to ignite this freaking race war further. That's what fan bases are doing, man. That's the thing. And I think it's just mostly Caitlin Clark fans, you know? Like, I don't think Angel Reese fans, you know, or Angel Reese fans are, like, accelerating it. Obviously, I don't think that. Like, I think it's absolutely perfectly fine to think that Angel Reese deserves Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark, you know? It's fine to think that. It's fine to prefer Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark. It's fine to prefer Caitlin Clark over Angel Reese, man. It's like, goddamn, dude. But I wish that, as a recent women's basketball enjoyer, right? It's like, I just wish that people would just actually be interested in women's basketball in the WNBA, you know, more than just freaking one player or two players. It's like, come on, guys. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like I feel like a lot of these Caitlin Clark like stans don't even know who Nafisa Collier is, and like, you know, being fully transparent, I didn't exactly know Nafisa Collier before like last year or this year, but like, I don't know. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's not that hard to friggin' tangentially like be aware of what's going on with the WNBA, especially if you listen to podcasts such as The Dunker Spot, which is a really good freaking podcast where they talk about women's basketball during the WNBA season, as well as the NBA. But I don't know. I just really like their WNBA freaking talk, because you can tell that yeah, both Steve and Nakai is like really freaking, they watch it and they like literally and they analyze it the exact same way, they talk about it the exact same way. There's no freaking BS about it. There's none, like, you know, like they do not talk about it like people on Twitter do. They actually freaking care about this thing, and you can actually tell, like, through the way they speak about it, you know. It's nice. But yeah, I don't know. That's just a thing I'm trying, man. Like, those are the steps I'm taking in order to be more interested in women's basketball, you know. Man, so, anyways, anything on that front, you know, more WNBA drama? Oh, yeah, there was that little, bit, of, like, actual freaking non-Caitlin Clark related, like, thing. Yeah. There was a lawsuit going on, yeah. There was a player for the Las Vegas Aces who is no longer on the Aces called Dearica Hamby, right? She plays for the Sparks now, and after Cameron Brink got her injured with her ACL, Dearica Hamby replaced Cameron Brink on the USA 3x3 team that won a bronze medal with Haley Van Lith in the Olympics. And, like, you know, yeah, I also didn't talk about the end of the Olympics. It's like, yeah, I mean, the US won. Okay, cool. Oh, man, a certain player didn't get minutes, but anyways. So, like, yeah, Dearica Hamby was a player for the Aces, and she is currently suing Becky Hammon, the coach of the Aces, because of, like, alleged, like, mistreatment, basically, regarding, like, her, like, specifically regarding, like, her pregnancy, right? And, like, I think, like, one of the details in it was that, like, when Dearica Hamby, like, got pregnant, like, Becky Hammon really disapproved of it or something. Like, yeah, like, Becky Hammon didn't like the fact that Dearica Hamby got pregnant, you know, and had to take time off for maternity leave, right? Like, Becky Hammon didn't really like that. And so, like, I think, like, there was an allegation that there was, like, a text message Becky Hammon sent or something like that, where she was where Becky Hammon was basically saying to Dearica Hamby, right, where it's like, where she said, like, did you intentionally freaking get pregnant? Did you get pregnant on purpose, right? Yeah. And, like, I would assume there's other things too, right? Like that, you know, organization-wise, that the Aces did. You know, maybe it is just, yeah. I would think it's beyond just Becky Hammon, but I don't know. Yeah, like that's another like side story going on in the WNBA. That's interesting enough to discuss. So I don't know who will win that freaking case. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it basically ties into just the whole, like, yeah, the WNBA and, like, facilities and organizations, right? Like, Skylar Diggins-Smith was another player. Yeah, she plays for the Seattle Storm now. And, like, I think, like, that was, like, a factor in her choosing to play in Seattle, you know, over Phoenix, right? Was that, like, the Phoenix Mercury has had, like, you know, like, players have talked about the Phoenix Mercury and, like, how, like, not, like, behind they are, like, organization-wise in, like, terms of, like, helping players in regards to, like, maternity leave and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, and that's the thing that, like, in the WNBA, like, free agency freaking is like absolutely determined by, like, is your organization just, like, meeting these, like, baseline standards? Like, that's the thing. That's yeah, it is kind of, you know, eye-opening just to see that, like, you know, the reason why Nneka Ogwumike and Skylar Diggins-Smith probably picked the Seattle as a, you know, team to play for over other teams was because they have a dedicated practice facility. And like there were those videos going around of, like, Angel Reese walking into the Chicago Sky practice facility, and it literally is just the size of a high school gym. It's the size of, like, a rec league freaking gym, right? And, like, you look at the Aces, like, facility, and it's a whole professional thing, and, like, the Seattle Storm have, like, the same thing, right? It's like, yeah, like, that's the thing, like, these are, like, real big differences. Like, these are, like, wide gulfs, you know? That's the thing. Oh, man. And like I think the Chicago Sky like announced that yeah they're building a new practice facility, but yeah, I don't know. Like it is just eye opening that every team does not have that baseline of a practice facility that's like spacious and has more than one court, right? You would think that you would think that would be just a thing that every team has, but no, yeah. But yeah, like I think we're probably going to be seeing that in the WNBA for the future, right? It's like whatever organization has just more of their shit together in terms of providing stuff like that. Like those are the organizations and teams that are probably going to have a big like leg up in free agency, you know, in terms of like, you know, players wanting to sign there, right? And then meanwhile in the NBA, it's just like, oh, do you want to go to the Mavs because there's no freaking income tax in Texas, right? It's like, you know, the only teams that get like hampered is just like Utah, you know, you know. That's the thing. But like every team like has its own practice facility that like is the size of like the Aces, right? Like the NBA doesn't have that practice facility issue, right? I think like the Denver is the only one that didn't have like a separate one, right? It might have, but I don't know. Oh man, yeah. Anyways, that's basically just a bunch of WNBA stuff. Anything happen in the NBA in the dead of the off season? They talk about Tyus Jones getting signed to the Suns. That's a thing. They talk about Lonnie Walker signing an Exhibit 10 deal with the Celtics. Oh, man. I mean, another sport started, but do I care, man? I just care about freaking, you know, Nick Wrong, you know? I just care. You know, it sucks that freaking I'm still watching First Things First, but it's like, it's just a thing to watch, you know, in the noon, you know? It's just a thing to watch at like 2 p.m. It really is. It really is just become part of my routine, and it's sad, you know. Oh man. Okay, anything else, because like I want to get through a bunch of freaking stuff in the month I didn't freaking record an episode. I'm gonna finish Life is Strange, hopefully. I feel like I've been saying that for like months upon months, but I only have like the second half of episode 4 and then episode 5 before I'm done. So yeah, I've been getting a lot more Life is Strange freaking Twitter in my freaking feed, and then there's just one account who just comes up, you know. It's mostly just people like who talk about the ship, Pricefield, Max and Chloe, right? And it's like it's just mostly them, but there's also like the comments, you know, from accounts who are like, Deck 9, man, they suck, man. This game is literally just a cash grab. Yeah, I think I talked about that before. What's Deck 9's obsession with blue eyes? Oh man, oh god. I guess speaking of video games, I did get a new freaking gaming system, man. I got an entirely new gaming system from a company that is not Microsoft or Sony, man. I think it actually is legitimately the first Nintendo system I ever bought with my own money. Like like honestly, I'm 20 freaking 3 years old, almost 24, and it's the very first Nintendo system I ever got. It's it's literally the Switch Lite. You know, it's like the handheld only version of the Switch, but the only thing I care about is being able to play freaking Pokemon, and I got it. So yeah, basically. Oh man, again, an example of like what I do with my financial decisions. Oh man, I've been getting a lot of gaming related stuff. Yeah, recently I got a 2 terabyte. Yeah, a 2 freaking terabyte expansion SSD card. Yeah, expansion card for the Series S, right? And like I could use it on the Series X if I decide to get one, you know. I just talk about like spending money freaking on video games. I've spent a lot of money on freaking games and game related stuff this year, man. It's insane. I don't know. It's, you know, I wouldn't have freaking done it if I didn't have the funds for it, okay? That's what I'll say. That's all I'll say. I'm not doing it because you know, I'm doing it only because I have the funds available to do it. That's basically my explanation. Oh man, so yeah, basically I got that, I got a Switch Lite, and I got Pokemon Scarlet. Yeah, I've been playing that game. I've been actually playing a game, you know, consistently. Oh man. Yeah, so I don't know. Should I talk about that? It's kind of, yeah, it is, dude. It is a truly open world freaking Pokemon game. I really like just the new things, about it. The fact that you don't have to take Pokemon out of like a PC anymore, right? And the fact that like all Pokemon in your party gain experience after beating a Pokemon, but like not an equal amount, you know? Oh man. So you still do have to level grind, but like it's not as like grindy, I guess, you know? And like the region, it takes place in like what's supposed to be Spain, right? And like the storyline isn't like a single thing where you only have to defeat 8 gyms, right? Like that's like just one of 3 storylines you can do. I don't know, it's kind of cool. And you can ride, and like you just immediately have the legendary Pokemon like an hour into the game. It's like, I don't know, it's interesting. I guess I'll just have more thoughts about it as I play it, but yeah, I like it so far. Yeah, anything else? I got Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I got Baldur's Gate 3 before that. And yeah, I don't know. I had fun with it when I was playing it for like, you know, a couple days. I'll probably get back to it at some point. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna record it, but yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun creating a character, yeah. And you literally can be openly trans, man. You literally can be trans in friggin' Baldur's Gate, and you can be non-binary too. And they honor your pronouns. It's amazing, man. It literally is amazing. You literally could just like, there's an option to just like, oh, don't show your underwear, and then it just shows you. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Oh man, just brilliant, man, brilliant. I see why it won Game of the Year in 2023. Oh man, anything else that I want to talk about? What was that drama that went on between those 2 actors in that movie that was based on a book? I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. Anything other than, yeah, one of those YouTubers made a video, a sequel to the video saying they're a fraud, and then said they're a sociopath. It's like, okay, cool. Congrats. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. How do I just feel about that freaking genre of video in general, man? I feel like I made my feelings clear, man. I don't know. I don't think I really need to freaking make it even more freaking clear, man. Oh, man. Anyways, what else has been going on, man, that I can talk about? I've been reading a few books. Yeah, I haven't updated, like, the books I've been reading. If I want to talk about it, you know? Yeah. Last time I talked about, reading a book called American Sun by Brian Ascalon Rowley, a Filipino author, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah. along with Look Both Ways. I think it is like one of my favorite books I've read this year. And like I read about like what? I read at least like freaking like 18 something books a year, so it's like, you know, it is a compliment, but it's also like I'm not that voracious, okay? Like I finish a book like when I'm consistently reading, like I finish a book like once every 2 weeks, basically just like the amount of time like at my peak that I'm putting an episode of this series out. So yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the prose of it, you know, like the descriptions in it, you know, it was very tense at times, you know. Yeah, if just to recap the plot a little bit, it's about 2 brothers and like this older brother, they're both Filipino and living in LA, right? And like the older brother has like gotten himself involved in like gangs, right? And like a bad crowd basically, and like has found himself freaking selling dogs to celebrities, right? And then the younger brother like helps him in that. And then, there's like it's basically separated into like 3 separate parts. And like the first part deals with that, and then the second part deals with the younger brother stealing one of his older brother's dogs, and then like trying to like drive across the state, right? And then he gets found out by this friggin' stranger, this white stranger, and then he ends up like calling his mother in a hotel, right? And then and he basically like the younger brother basically lies about who his mother is. Like he basically says his mother is his maid in order, like, because like he's thinking that like this white stranger, because they had a conversation previously where he was shitting on immigrants and like, you know, like brown people basically, that like he wouldn't like the fact, yeah, that like he's white passing enough, but like he would you know, like take umbrage with the fact that his mother is Filipino. Yeah, and like in the third part, yeah, like I guess I don't want to spoil that, but yeah, I really like the ending of that third part and like the whole book, you know, how it fully comes back around, the title of being an American son. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. There's another YA book I read after that called The Revolution of Bertie Randolph, right? And yeah, it's about someone who also has a nickname they go by, but only just one name, And like, it's about a girl who's been a black girl living in Chicago, who's been basically like sheltered by her parents, you know, her whole life, right? And then, yeah, basically like her aunt comes into her home, right? And then like, yeah, like things, yeah, like just things get revealed, and she starts like trying to live more freely and like trying to like not, you know, trying to do more things that a teenager should do. And then like at the end there's like this big revelation involving her aunt and her mother. So yeah, I guess I don't want to spoil that either. I enjoyed that, yeah. And the book I'm reading right now, yeah, I decided to read The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. Yeah, one of the books I probably should have been reading like, what, a few years ago at this point. I don't know. I feel like I put it off for way too long. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's just a book about joy luck. This game, basically like a group of Chinese women who immigrated to America after World War II. They moved to San Francisco. They start this club, or they gather together. I guess like they started it in China when they were living in China, but like they start this group in San Francisco where they play cards together. Yeah, like they play this game together and share stories and share joy and have joy luck, you know, because a lot of their lives, they went through a lot of hardship, but that was the one day they would forget about that, and then they try to carry on their tradition to their daughters, and it's just the stories of the mothers and the daughters and like bits of their lives, and I really enjoy it. It probably is going to be another one of the best books I read this year, so I guess just prepare. I don't know, I'm kind of spoiling my whole list, man. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Like, why would I freaking, I don't know. I wonder how many of the people who are like primarily readers of like book talk books like ever like think about reading books like that, you know. It's like, have you ever tried reading the Joy Luck Club or like any book like that? It's like, no, okay, it's fine. People can read what they want to read. It's fine, you know. I don't know. Oh man, anyways, that's basically just a bunch of things that happened in the recent freaking month, man. And I didn't even talk about the video I uploaded, so oh man, I should talk about that a bit later. There's this anime that I've talked about previously. I think like the first 10 episodes, my favorite anime of all time. You know, I think I mentioned it a few times after that, but yeah. Yeah, Nana is my favorite anime of all time. It's probably one of the best freaking things of all time for me. Right up there with like Daria and Fall New Vegas and freaking Life is Strange and Nikola Jokic. Just like things in general, favorite things in general of all time. You know, not family or friends related. Oh man, my favorite, yeah, the creatures probably would be there. Yeah, but yeah, Nana, basically, I've been watching that, basically in August. That was what I was doing. It was one of the things I was doing, because if anyone, yeah, like sees, yeah, checks my channel, I uploaded this thing called an AMV, which stands for animated music video or anime music video, and I put one up previously like 2 years ago of The Legend of Korra. Yeah, and I used the Naked and Famous song with it. It's called, yeah, Hearts Like Ours. And I basically did the same thing with Nana. I used a Naked and Famous song from a different album, Higher. Oh man, because I don't know. I've been thinking about making another AMV for a while, and like Nana was like one of the series that I thought I could do an AMV for, but I don't know. Like I realized like 20 episodes in of like rewatching the series basically for the AMV that like it's harder to do an AMV for a series that doesn't have like action in it. It's like it's much freaking harder. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people have done freaking AMVs for slice of life shows like Nana, but like I don't know. But I eventually got it done. I used up until 36 episodes of the series. So I did not use the full 47 episodes. I didn't rewatch the entire 47 episode series, but I used like 36. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to get it out by the end of August, right? And I was making like really good progress, but I don't know. I just didn't want to freaking wait. You know, I wanted to upload it as soon as possible, and I feel like I did a pretty good job with it, you know. I guess this is a director's commentary on it. I don't know. I also feel like I make AMVs differently from other people. I don't think you're supposed to make an AMV like how I'm supposed to make an AMV. Oh man, just like like watching all the episodes and then just like picking out like I don't know. Well, I guess basically the process, if anyone wants to know what a process like that could entail. I basically, I picked a song, I picked Higher, partly because for a while I couldn't, like there was like a lyric, well now, there isn't an actual music video for Higher by the Naked and Famous. It's only like a lyric video, but I guess it has some images. That's called like a visualizer in this day and age, but I don't know. I just decided to be cool. Like I feel like it kind of fits, you know, just the lyrics and how I freaking managed to do it. I don't know. So like I have the song, I put it in the freaking editing timeline, and then like I watch an episode, and when a clip comes up that I feel like could be used, I cut it out, split it from the episode, and drag it all the way to the song, right, to like the video track above the song, and see if I can place it anywhere and if it fits near a lyric. And I just keep on doing that general freaking thing, right? Like watching an episode, checking for a clip and seeing if that would make a good freaking visual for a lyric, and then just keep on doing that over and over and over again. Like I don't know how anyone else does it. Like I don't know, I would like to see, that'd be interesting to see like the process for making an AMV. Oh man, it only took like basically like 2 weeks, but I don't know, it felt like an eternity doing it. Just like watching an episode and being like, oh, this clip, and then like how much of the song does the clip fill? It's like, oh, just like, you know, 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds, and the lyric lasts for 2 seconds, and it's like, okay. And I think it has more cuts than the Legend of Korra AMV. I would like to think that. I don't know. Oh man, I use some like thematic friggin' things whenever like fire in the song is mentioned. I used a cigarette. I used every shot of Nana characters lighting up a cigarette, right? Because it has literal fire from the cigarette lighter. Oh man, I used like a few times of like roses, because roses are a thing, you know, the OP. The first OP for Nana's called Rose, right? In the song I Need Your Love, I'm a Broken Rose, you know? That whole thing, you know? I used like crying as a theme. I didn't mean to do that, but I don't know. I feel like just like watching True Nana, right? It's like, every character freaking cries in this series, man. Not every character, but like mainly freaking Hachi, basically Nana Komatsu, basically like she just cries every freaking episode, man. Especially like early on, man. She has good reason to, but goddamn, dude. Man, both Nanas like cry a lot, you know, and like and just like the cinematography of just both of the characters crying is just really nice to look at. So I used that a bit, you know. Any other teams? Like in the intro before there's any lyrics, I basically do a thing where like I put like a reference to Trap Nest, and I put Trap Nest the band in it, and I put a reference to Blast, and I put Blast in it, you know, and then before that I put, you know, each of the Nanas, you know, introductions. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing. Yeah, I guess this is a tiny little director's commentary on it. Yeah, it took me about like 2-something weeks of like dedicated like work in order to finish it, and it was long. It felt like really long, but yeah, like I think like like the 21st, I think I was like I only have these freaking couple gaps to fill, and then what I had to do was that I downloaded the whole series. And basically, like, yeah, when I was referencing earlier of like a site getting taken down, that was what I was talking about. That's how I, quote, downloaded the whole series. But it's like, how else could I have done it? Like, how else could I have done it? I needed the dubbed version of the series, right? Like, how did people make AMVs back then, right? It's like, like they were doing this on Windows Movie Maker. I'm sure I could have done it on Windows Movie Maker because it wasn't anything else. It was just audio and video. But like, I don't know. I had to find a dub. Yeah, like I prefer watching the series dubbed. I haven't really watched a full series subbed all the way through, but like I found the dub version of the series, right? I got the whole series. I downloaded it. I have it on an SD card, right? And then I import it to friggin' a computer so I can work on it in Sony Vegas, right? And then I have all the episodes, right? I basically have all the episodes on standby. And then when I want to put in a new episode, I just drag it to the editing timeline, right? So that was how I was doing it behind the scenes, right? Yeah, because like the dub version obviously would not have subtitles, right? And that would kind of ruin things, right? But like there were some shots in there that were from the OPs of the show. So basically I had to go to another website, animeteams.moe, and download freaking the OPs to the show because, you know, because even in the dub freaking versions that I have, the openings and the endings have the lyrics in English handily, but it's just a little too handy. So like I had to do that, and then there was one scene where Nana and Hachi kiss, and I freaking, yeah, and it's like Yuri freaking it's a Yuri thing. And then like I had to freaking, yeah, like, and there were lyrics during that scene in the dub version that I have, so I had to go to a site and then freaking turn off the subtitles and then freaking like the screen record it. Yeah, like that's basically just like the behind the scenes, the inside baseball of what I had to do, right? It's like that's I don't know. I feel like I don't want to do another AMV again. I don't know. I guess I just have to do Avatar. I guess I might want to do one more, but I don't know. I feel like it's just too much work. I feel like it's just too much, man. I don't know. I did enjoy how it got like over 100 views in like a day, though. That was all I basically wanted. I just wanted it to stay up no matter what, and it is up. It has stayed up, so that's good. Thank you for not freaking taking it down, whoever it is out there, YouTube or whatever, whoever owns the copyright of Nana. I don't know. Please, Polyder Records, please just let me keep this up, man. Please do not strike it down. God damn. Please do not block it. Yeah, it's not getting struck down. It's just getting blocked, which is annoying. Which means that like no one freaking in any country can watch it. So yeah. Oh man. Yeah, does that relate to another thing I'm reading? Yeah, in response to that, I started reading the manga because I have like volumes of the manga, but I haven't like read it. And like, yeah, like I feel like it's also my favorite manga of all time, right? It's like after like reading through, right? Yeah, because yeah, I guess another thing explaining Nana, right, is that the manga of Nana is currently on hiatus, right? Which means that it's not officially canceled, it's not officially ended, and like, but like it's like a thing where, yeah, I think the author of the series, a goat of freaking manga, Ayazawa, right, who created the series and also created yeah, Paradise Kiss, another series which I have in manga form, right? It's like, yeah, like it's currently on hiatus, and it's like I think it's on hiatus because Ayazawa like has an illness of some sort. I don't know the specifics of it. I haven't tried to look it up. I kind of don't want to look it up, but yeah, that's basically all I know, is that the manga's been on hiatus for like 15 years at this point. And the manga currently has 70 chapters. And the funny thing about it is that the anime ended. Yeah, the anime ended in like 07, right? Like the anime started in like 06, I think. And I think it ended like in 07, right? And like the point in the manga where the anime ends is friggin' chapter 42, and there's 70 freaking 8 or 79 chapters of the manga. So there's basically 37 freaking chapters, basically a whole nother freaking show, a whole nother 40 something episodes that freaking still have not freaking, yeah, that could have gotten adapted if there was like a sequel, man. I don't know, that's just a surprising thing. And the fact that freaking there are like 30 more chapters, yeah. Because recently I read until the end, basically. So, like, the end of the anime is chapter 42 of the manga, basically. The last episode of the anime, the manga equivalent of it is chapter 42. And, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, that felt like a definitive enough ending. But I don't know. Like, when I first watched it, I thought it was actually the end of it. But I don't know. Like, it continues on. I don't know. And it's like this thing where it flashes forward, and it's like, I don't know. It's just too much, man. Basically, what I wanted to say is that, like Nana, to me, basically is a masterpiece. And, like, I don't know. It's kind of sad to think that freaking it's still, like, unfinished and it's on hiatus, like, seemingly forever. Because, like I feel like it already stamped itself as a masterpiece for me. Like, true those 42 chapters, true those, like, 47 episodes of the anime. But, like, I don't know. I am kind of scared to freaking read more of it, even though I readily could read more of it, true, you know, means. I do own volumes of the manga, but, like, they're not, but, you know, like, they're, like, the very last volume. I've tried to search for them in Barnes & Noble. Like, I have a rule where it's, like, if I see, like, new volumes I haven't gotten before, I just immediately buy them without any question. But, like, I don't know. Man, I am just kind of scared to freaking, like, read true more of it and just find, like, the last chapter, like, the 78 or 79, and just be like, wait, that's it? You know? When originally I thought that freaking chapter 42, or the last episode of the anime, was, like, the definitive end of the series, right? Like, I feel like for me it could have ended there. It's still a masterpiece if it ends there. It's still like my favorite freaking anime of all time if it ends there. It's still just one of the best things ever created, freaking, for me, if it just ended there. But I don't know. Like, I don't have a fear that, like, it's gonna decline in quality, but I don't know. I think I just fear that freaking it's just gonna make me more sad once I finish it. It's gonna be like, the sadness of it isn't due to anything in the story, it's just due to the fact that, you know, it's not finished, you know. But yeah, I don't know how, like, fans of the series have reacted to that. I just wanted to get my feelings out on that. Just such a good thing, man. Such a freaking, I don't know. I'm sure I can freaking, like, talk more in depth about it, man. I don't know. True, other freaking methods other than speaking into a microphone, because I don't think I'm that skilled at it. I really don't think so, man. I don't know. Anything else that I've done recently? Anything else? I'm sure I've been missing, like, a lot of things, I'm sure. There's a lot. Anything to wrap up the Olympics, man? Can people, like, please, man? It's like, look, man. You think you can be better than whoever that was for Australia, but, like, look, how many people can attempt a single breakdancing move? Like, please. just I don't know. It just felt like too much. It just, like, I feel like it's just like none of the freaking, like, things making fun of that situation or that person was just funny to me. It's weird. Like, it just was not funny to me. I didn't laugh at a single one. It's like freaking Hawk 2. It's like, it's just not funny to me. It's just not funny. Like, I guess my sense of humor just isn't freaking advanced enough, but whatever. ever. Oh my god. Oh man, the DNC, I don't know, is that a thing? People were really mad at freaking Beyonce. Beyonce was supposed to be the surprise guest. Oh man, she was, wasn't she? Oh man. Yeah, and anything else that happened recently that freaking I should talk about? I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure there is a lot to talk about, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not watching the Paralympics, but yeah, I'm sure there was a Pablo Torre Finds Out episode about all of the scandals and cheating that go on in the Paralympics, right? It's very interesting. Just made like some people are just like trying like to be, you know, like I think like there's a Bomani Jones like podcast I listened to where there was like an athlete who like a former like athlete in some sport who like decided to compete in the Paralympics when they clearly were not, you know, disabled in the way that other Paralympians were. I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, anything else that's going on, man? Just in general, what is a thing that happen? What is a thing in life? I kind of don't like freaking like thinking. Yeah, I don't know. I could always like think up of it later, but yeah. Oh man, is that basically all? I made an AMV. I probably won't do it again. I'm reading the Joy Luck Club. It's like really good. I want to finish it, you know. Oh yeah, I could talk about something. Yeah, no, I don't know. I was like, oh yeah, I could talk about something. It is actually not that exciting. I don't know. There's a park I go to sometimes that I don't go to all the time, but recently I went to like the park and like it had a basketball court for the longest time, but it had like these like rims that it had these like really kind of crappy rims that like had like a backboard that was like the short round ones that's not a full backboard. But recently, like in August, I went there one day and then I found that they replaced the whole freaking court, right? They replaced the rims with freaking ones with actual like backboards of glass, right? Kind of like the ones you'd see at like at like an actual gym, right? And like I've been trying my hardest to friggin' like go there like when it's open, and like I've hit like a couple 3-pointers from there. I don't know, it's just a small little thing, but I haven't made that much progress in terms of like my physical fitness. Okay, I kind of haven't. It's fine though, it's fine. I'm sure things will freaking level out eventually, but yeah. Anyways, anything else that freaking is going on before I move on to what what Twitter has to say? True. What I've liked. I'll probably like split it up. I don't know. I've liked a lot of tweets in preparation, thinking that I'd put an episode out freaking at the end of August, but I didn't. I don't know. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's basically it for now. I'll freaking, if I think up of something, I'll mention it in the next segment. So yeah, here is the Twitter segment. First tweet of the segment. My dress up darling has some of the most uplifting messages about enjoying your hobbies and discovering blooming love, and it's so disheartening to watch others paint a disgusting image to falsely comprehend a series that isn't even remotely fetishistic or objectifying. Yeah, it really is a thing. Yeah, I guess I just liked it because, yeah, one, I just liked the series, and also like I remember like seeing a previous tweet that like said like what anime character is like objectified or something, like what like something like what like the yeah like what yeah, something around those lines, and then someone brought up My Dress Up Darling in like a reply, right? And it's like it's literally like the opposite of that, you know? Like that's the thing. Like I feel like My Dress Up Darling is a series that subverts frickin' like stuff, right? In that kind of genre of show, you know? I don't need to bring up examples of that type of genre of show, but just, you know, just know that I'm aware of that, you know? That's the thing. And yeah, and it just the way it deals with, you know, a girl who's just very excited about freaking wanting to cosplay, right? Even though like she's cosplaying characters from from very freaking sexualized freaking games, right? It's like she has such a passionate freaking thing about it, right? And then like the fact that like the main character is extremely passionate about making clothes, right? And like their pairing and their burgeoning romance in it. I don't know. It's just a nice thing. I feel like it's very obviously it's like trying to subvert and like put a fresh spin on freaking like that, you know? It's very obviously trying to do that, and I don't know. It's weird how there are some people who misunderstand it, but I guess that's a lot of things, you know? I mean, there's people who misunderstand freaking it ends with, you know, and maybe there's people who misunderstand it, you know? I just have where I'm coming from with it, okay? That's the thing. There's people who misunderstand, like, you know, a bunch of like book talk books, but it's like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just not on book talk, but I do watch certain freaking animated shows, okay? Oh man, I feel like too much sometimes. Oh man, I used to cut between these, but yeah, I don't know. Now that I just have them and don't have to search for them, I can just immediately go from one to another. Y'all remember when cartoons had high enough episode counts that they could just have an episode where the plot is like, it's hot outside? I miss that. And yeah, relating to real life, it really is hot outside. Dude, I saw the weather report for where I live and it said 102 degrees and I'm like, yeah, like, come on. Like, yeah. But would I take it over living in the Midwest and like having to deal with the winter there? Yes, absolutely. Loki can't wait for the NBA to start back up so that guy can go back to ignoring women's sports. Yeah, somehow Stephen A. talking about women's basketball isn't that satisfying. Somehow, who would have freaking thought? Eventually, I think the best coping mechanism is a hobby. Your interest will always nurse you back to joy. Reading, writing, playing a sport? Find something that brings joy, then spend enough time nurturing it. Rely on it to always help you find your way back. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I like the tweet from the official MLB Twitter account. Yeah, the Dodgers unveiled a special edition Lumpia bucket for Filipino Heritage Night. Dude, the LA Dodgers also had something called Hololive Night, where like they had VTubers appear, basically. Like Gura was one of the VTubers who'd appeared on that, and they also have a Filipino Heritage Night, man. I don't know, like, come on, man. Why don't the Padres have this? What is going on, man? It's not that I have a stake in the freaking race or anything, but I don't know, man. Like, San Diego has just you know, an equal amount of freaking Filipinos who live there. Come on. And then Pablo Torre quote tweeted, "You're telling me that this wouldn't be insanely popular if it was sold at ballparks across America all the time?" Yeah, it absolutely would, man. It absolutely would. Oh, man. Man, yeah, and like any white, yeah, like I think there was someone who was just like, I don't want to try food that like I can't pronounce or something. But like the thing is, like most like people who don't know about Filipino food and then who try Filipino food just really enjoy it, man. I don't know. I mean, they really just only eat freaking like pancit and lumpia, but like that's basically all you need. Those are like the cornerstones of it, right? It's the same thing as just like, you know, eating like tikka masala basically for Indian food, right? And then there's that like it's like if you order this stuff, you know, like, but that's the thing, like I feel like that's just what most Filipinos or Filipino Americans probably like eating anyway. That's the thing. Maybe adobo in there, but yeah. Oh man. Writing is a learned skill, by the way. If you want to be a writer but don't feel like you're good enough at writing and that stops you from trying, just keep writing. Study the craft, how to structure plots, etc. I assure you, your prose will get better and your stories will improve. And then someone quote tweeted, to paraphrase Bradbury, write a story every week. After a year, you have 52 stories. Man, like every week? I defy anyone to write 52 bad stories in a row. It can't be done. Hopefully. Another Ray Bradbury, tweet. Happy birthday, Ray Bradbury. You were the king of dropping 6-page stories a kid could read once in 7th grade English class and be haunted by for the rest of their life. And I think the two she's talking about are A Sound of Thunder, which involved like dinosaurs and like going back in time. And then there was another short story of his that was in a middle school, or high school like textbook in one of my classes called The Pedestrian. And like it's about this like future like dystopian society where like everyone is watching TV, right? And then like this one night there's this one man who decides to go walking, right? And then he gets stopped by the police in this world, and then the police officer is like, "What are you doing, sir?" It's like, and then the guy's like, "I'm walking." And then the police officer is like, "You're walking? You're walking?" Like, huh? You're walking? And then the man's like, "Yeah, I'm walking." And then the police officer, like, eventually is like, "Yeah, that's too suspicious, man. We're gonna have to arrest you." And it's basically, yeah, that's basically like the thing of it. It's like people are so like connected to their TVs. People are just so focused on watching TV that like just the fact that you're outside not doing that is just suspicious behavior enough, right? It's just, I don't know, just a thing I remembered that I wanted to bring up. It's kind of like fish cheeks, yeah. Like one of my favorite short stories of all time is about freaking, you know, this Chinese American girl who decides to bring like her crush to her family's house for dinner, and then like sees all of the Chinese food that he thinks would look gross, right? And like her family bringing up that freaking she loves eating the fish cheeks, you know, the head of a fish, right? The cheeks, you know, it's like, "I saved them just for you." And then at the end, the girl is like talking with her mother, and then her mother gives her a mini skirt. I don't know. It's just a cool thing. It's nice remembering short stories like that. Tracy Badua, the author of a book I read last year, "This is not a personal statement," tweeted, "Filipino parents out here accusing kids of gallivanting and malingering." Oh, man. Oh, God. Someone tweeted, "I don't care if your pronouns are she or he or they. If we're playing tag, you're it." Oh, man. And then John Boyce tweeted, "I disagree with Donald Trump on a great number of issues and will not be voting for him." Yeah, basically, those are basically a few of the tweets I freaking liked. Your 20s are all about finding that one apartment, and you'll know it when you have it. And then I co-tweeted this, yeah. I co-tweeted this like the day before I uploaded the Nana AMV. It really all started with just an apartment, huh? Is that basically all? Did I figure out what I wanted to talk about in the meantime? Oh, yeah, I guess in music-related news, there's this band. They're called Wyse, right? And they're like reuniting, basically. Like the band consists of like two brothers, Liam and Noel Gallagher, who freaking hate each other for some reason. I don't know when that started to happen. Like, I don't know if they like always historically hated each other and then they started a band, or like they started a band which led them to hate each other. But yeah. Probably the latter, but yeah. It's like getting like it's getting people like who live in the UK of a certain age like all crazy, but it's like, oh man, it's a thing. Yeah, I remember the other thing I wanted to talk about. Another British band. I guess I'll just like, yeah, I guess this will be like the last thing. Yeah, if I don't come up with anything else. But yeah, I found this channel recently called 22 Grand Pod, which is a reference to a song by the band The Rakes, 22 Grand Job. And like the reason why I know that was because in 2020 there was this article by Wyse, I think, which listed the top 50 landfill indie songs. And I don't know if I've talked about landfill indie before, but the basic explanation for it is it basically was just a bunch of bands from the UK who made music from like basically like the early 2000s up until like 2010. So like a bunch of UK bands who like sounded like garage rock and post-punk revival, right? Who just wanted to sound like the Strokes and the Libertines, who were just making like post-punk, you know, that type of music, right? The Kooks, you know, the Wombats, Bombay Bicycle Club, to name a few. You know, like yeah, the Fratellis, the Future Heads, like I don't know, just all of those bands, right? And there's a whole channel dedicated to like, yeah, I think like in the channel description, like it says that like celebrating that era of like British music, you know. And like one of the bands, yeah, one of the most interesting interviews in that channel was Matt Tong from Block Party, the former drummer of Block Party. And like Block Party is not, decidedly not, in my opinion, landfill indie, but like they were like a British band who made music in the 2000s, so like, you know, and still do. But oh god, dude, how did you steal this thing, dude? Sorry for that being loud. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot that the audio is like freaking really loud. Yeah, I forgot that the audio is really loud. Oh god, hopefully that doesn't freaking mess up the episode, but yeah. Oh man. Yeah, basically, like, Matt Tong was interviewed for this podcast, right? And like, he said a lot of really interesting things. One of the things he said, just without any freaking, like, second thought, was that they were talking about, like, ticket prices for concerts. And then he was just, like, talking about freaking, Boy Genius tickets are, like, $100. $100. Who would freaking want to see freaking Boy Genius, the most anemic freaking band in the world? He literally just called them the most anemic band in the world, and it was just like, I just found that just to be like just the funniest freaking thing. He just literally just called them out like that, just without any freaking second thought, without anything, man. I don't know. Yeah, but the real freaking like big ish kind of thing was basically when he was asked about like leaving the band back in like 2012 and like just more insight on that. Yeah, because like, yeah, there was a comment that by Kelly who said like last year, like the headline read that like that like the reason why like the Matt and Gordon left was like, yeah, it was because like one member was using cocaine or something, and then like, you know, like, yeah, like I guess like, you know, it somewhat implied that like either Matt or Gordon, their bassist, right, like was implied to have had like a drug habit, you know, which, you know, I would think both of them would deny, right? And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think that's true either, but yeah. So like, yeah, Matt kind of, he like during that interview he talked about like the last days of him being in the band, and like he just talked about how, yeah, the quote from him was that like Kelly, the frontman, was an insurmountable obstacle, right? Like that's what he said, and that like, you know, him and Kelly are not on good terms, right? And that he hasn't talked to him since like 2012, since he left the band, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat a shame, but like I kind of understand it. Like I wasn't, yeah, like I kind of found it just like fun, like funny, like how he was talking about it, you know? he was all just like, yeah, basically told him to F off. I just basically told him that. So, on no uncertain terms, I just basically told him that in an email. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to mention that because, you know, just because it is another one of my favorite friggin' things. That band, you know, and like Sound Alarm is probably basically my favorite album of all time. And like, it was interesting. Yeah, I might link to the channel. Yeah, I might link to the channel in the description if I care to freaking edit. You know, hopefully the episode isn't messed up by me having to sound up to 100%, man. I don't know. Oh man. Anyways, so I guess that's basically it, man. Yeah, is that it? Is that all I wanted to freaking talk about? Bands reuniting. There's this other band, you know, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called like Linkin Park. A lot of people use their songs for AMVs, like Naruto and stuff like that. They like reference that, yeah, in a song called Lost. They made like the whole video animated. Oh man, I think they have a new singer, and they're launching a new era of the band, you know. And there is something associated with the singer, yeah, but like I don't want to like throw around things, you know. I think there are allegations, but I don't know. I just think in general, for the most part, I just think it's nice that friggin' Linkin Park are continuing to make music, you know, and just like, and the fact that, you know, they do have like a female lead singer is cool. I like the idea of that. Hopefully, you know, I would think it would work out well. I mean, it would work out, like, regardless if they decided to just, like, have any sort of person sing. I think, like, I don't know, like, they're still gonna be a massively popular band, you know. They're like the numbers on, like, their recent, their music video and their live show. I remember, like yesterday or like 2 days ago, I was just like, I found a live stream going on as I was getting home from school. It had like 200k people like watching it live. I don't know. And if anything, I'm just excited that freaking Linkin Park are making new music again. Okay, I'm just excited for that. So, anyways, yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to freaking talk about. Is there anything else? Oh man, Angel Reese is currently trending on Twitter, man. I'm still getting freaking Elon's tweets, man. It's fine. Dude, what? She wears short skirts. I'm sending an email. Yeah, why do I have so many freaking NFL highlights? I don't watch that freaking sport, man. I don't care, man. I only care about freaking what is gonna make Nick Wrong upset, man. and unfortunately the Chiefs keep on winning. Oh god, dude. Oh god. Fumbling a weird girl who genuinely liked you is worse than death. Okay. just so Twitter is just filled with just these kinds of tweets, man. It's like fumbling something, like this thing goes hard. It's like, okay, all right, please guys. It's just too much. It's freaking too much, man. Angel Reese tonight, she got 24 points and 12 rebounds, and she was 9 of 15 from the field. That's the real freaking thing, man. Oh man. Yeah, I guess should I talk about Angel Reese? Yes, it is impressive that Angel Reese is leading the league in rebounds, and no, freaking yes, she would still be leading the league in rebounds even if you freaking discounted her offensive rebounds off of her own misses, you know, like that's the thing. She is just that good at rebounding. But you know, there have been like questions about just her general like shot selection, you know. There have just like the times that freaking just, I don't know, like when I watch like sometimes when I watch like, you know, some clips, right, where she throws up these shots, right, I'm just thinking like, why does she need to throw it up like that fast, you know? I don't know. Like I guess but looking at it from an extremely freaking like basic point of view, like I would think she would need to take a bit more time with her freaking shots, like posting up in order to increase, you know. I would assume it's gonna get better with time, but yeah, I don't know. There have been multiple times where like her field goal percentage is like, you know, like 30% or possibly even lower some games, but I don't know. That's the thing. Like she's still like a great rookie though. Like that's the thing. People are still talking about her, and you know, that's the thing. She is on Caitlin Clark's level, but like I feel like Caitlin Clark deserves to be the rookie of the year over her. Okay, it's fine. Let's not freaking kill each other over it, man. Let's just appreciate the fact that freaking let's just appreciate the fact that women's basketball is grown. But I don't know, man. Hopefully what's gonna happen to these Caitlin Clark stands like in like 5 years? Are they still gonna be fans of her, or are they just gonna move on to another thing? And good thing Paige Beckers is not in this draft class, man. Good thing. let's just make next year basically her year, man. Or maybe like Flage when she enters the league, right? And then Juju's gonna enter the league in like, you know, a few more years after that, and it's gonna be like cool, man. Everyone, like, it's gonna be a whole generation of freaking new women's basketball viewers, hopefully. and everyone's just gonna live in peace and harmony, right? Everyone, you know. I mean, you want a little bit of viciousness, but like not like the freaking way of that people are beefing over Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like not that way, not the Cheryl Swoops freaking, yeah. Like that's the thing I forgot to talk about the whole episode. Do I need to extend it even further? It's just too much, man. It's just too much. I talked about Dejanay, right? Yeah, Cheryl Swoops is also another like part of it. Yeah. That's why I wanted to talk about the book drama freaking and reference it in the intro, you know. Look, man, I don't know. If it continues just to be this exact same type of stuff regarding Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, it's just gonna not be interesting, man. Like, can we just, like, let's just, yeah, like, I think I should try, like, as the playoffs appear, like, I'm gonna pay attention to that and talk about that when it comes up for an episode, and I'm gonna talk about the WNBA finals, hopefully. Hopefully I can watch freaking games, but I don't know, hopefully. I currently can't watch ESPN because of a contract dispute with DirecTV, but I don't know. Hopefully, man. I think that's basically all I wanted to talk about for this episode, man. Any last minute ting, man? Last minute ting? Yeah, no. It's just too much, man. Oh, man. Yeah, basically. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will get 2 more episodes out this month. Oh, man. And finish Life is Strange, and freaking do a bunch of other things, you know. I'm gonna promise the moon, man. Yeah, I'll save some of the things I want to talk about for the next episode, so, yeah. Anyways, see you then.